So today we'll see the applications of propositional logic and the propositional equivalences. First of all, we'll see the translating English to propositional logic, system specifications, Boolean searching, logic puzzles, and logic circuits. So these are the topics in this section, is applications of propositional logic. Translating English sentences to the propositional logic. Steps to convert the English sentence to a statement is in the propositional logic can be done as follows. First of all, you need to identify the atomic propositions and represent using the propositional variables. Atomic means the independent statements that are available in the given specification that need to be considered, and you are supposed to consider it as a propositional variable. Determine the appropriate logical connectivities, either by using the implies, conjunction, disjunction, which is more appropriate to do this, that you are supposed to use here. If I go to Harry's to or to the country, I will not go shopping. This is the statement. Here, what are the atomic statements? I will go shopping is one atomic statement. Here, if I go to Harry's, so I go to Harry's is one atomic statement, and I go to the country is an atomic statement. So these three atomic statements are there. They may be true or false, maybe negation, maybe there or straightforward statement is there. Always you have to consider the atomic statement in the true form only. So P is here the propositional variable. P is I go to Harris, Q I go to the country, the R is I will go to shopping, or I will go shopping. So this is the always true kind of statement. Now, if I go to Harris or to the country, so here or operation is there, so you are supposed to use the conjunction operation. This is a disjunction operation. So this is or operation. P or Q implies negation or. So this is the way you are supposed to frame the English statements for representing the propositional logic. We'll see some more statements here. Example, translate the following sentence into the propositional logic. You can access the internet from the campus only if. So when can you find the only if? There exists an implied statement. Okay. If you are a computer science major or you are not a freshman. So these are the three statements are there in this atomic statements. You can access the internet. This is one kind of from the campus. This is one kind of statement. And you are a computer science major and you are not a freshman or you are a freshman. These are the three atomic statements are there. Let A, C, and F represents respectively. You can access the internet from the campus. You are a computer science major and you are a freshman. So this statement can be represented as A implies, that means you can access the internet from the campus only if, that is implies. That means you should be computer science major and not the freshman or not a freshman. So negation. So this is the way of representation. We'll see some more statements here. The system specifications. Usually the system specifications usually if you write in the normal language or in the natural language, sometimes system specifications are they will look ambiguous, and based upon the interpretation, the specification may be interpreted in different ways. So it is most commonly used thing that system specifications will be represented in the form of propositional logic, so that it will give you the unique structure. Anyone can read, if anyone read this propositional logic, they can come to understand that, okay, this is the perfect specification that we need to imagine and need to develop the system. So system and software engineers takes the requirements in English and express them in practice, that is in a precise specification language based on logic. Example, express in the following, express the propositional logic like this. The automated reply cannot be sent when the file system is full. Here, what are the two unique or atomic propositions? The automated reply cannot be sent or can be sent is one atomic unit, atomic statement. When the file system is full, file system is full is one atomic proposition. So one possible solution, let P denotes the automated reply can be sent, and Q denotes the file system is full, then it is represented as the file system is full. That means implies that there is no automatic reply will be sent. That is negation P. So this is the way of representing the specifications. Consistent system specification. So when can you say the system specification is consistent? When the system specification, whatever the representation made in propositional logic, will always give you the true. Then that means it is giving you a true kind of values. Then it is said to be the consistent system specification. A list of propositions is consistent if it is possible to assign truth values to the proposition variables so that each proposition is true. Here is an exercise. Are these specifications consistent? The diagnostic message is stored in the buffer or it is retransmitted. The diagnostic message is not stored in the buffer. If the diagnostic message is stored in the buffer, then it is retransmitted. So here three different statements are there in which specification which was written is consistent. Here solution, let P is equal to the diagnostic message is stored in the buffer, and Q maybe the diagnostic message is retransmitted. These are the two atomic statements that can be used. The first statement can be expressed as P and Q. The next statement can be represented as negation P. Third statement can be represented as P implies Q. When P is false and Q is true, all three statements are true. So the specification is consistent in such cases. What if the diagnostic message is not retransmitted, is added to the list of specifications? So now we are adding negation Q. That means it is not retransmitted. So there is no satisfying assignment. So the specification is not consistent. So always the given specification should result into the consistency when the given propositional logic is true. So based upon this, we'll move on to the logic puzzles. Logic puzzles means the logic puzzles sometimes may true or may not true, but depends upon the approach. We are supposed to identify whether the given puzzle can be solved or not. That means when the given puzzle, the related values, if you get true, then we will be in a position to solve the particular puzzle. Depends upon the situation. Here is an example. An island has two kinds of inhabitants: knights who always tell truth, and knaves who always lie. So there are two sets of people are there. One is knights and another is knaves. Knights will always tell the truth, and knaves will always tell lie. So you go to the island and meet A and B. You don't know who is this A and B. So you are supposed to meet A and B. So A says B is a knight. So A says B is a knight. B says the two of us are of opposite types. Now, what is the case if A is knave? That means he will always lie. So that he may lie that B is a knight. What is the case if B is a knight? That is from the knight sect. So the two of us are of opposite types. So we can believe that, okay, these A and B are of opposite types. So that means it depends upon the logic that you apply. That is, we make the proposition of A belongs to, or with this particular person A belongs to knight, or this person A belongs to knave. At the same time, B belongs to knight and B belongs to knave. So example, what are the types of A and B? Solution, let P and Q be statements that A is a knight and B is a knight. That means when both A and B are knights, then respectively, so then negation P represents the proposition that A is a knave and negation Q that B is a naive. So if A is a knight, then P is true. Since knight tells the truth, that is because according to the statement specification, it was mentioned that knights will also always tell truth. So Q must that is so A is not a knight, and therefore negation P must be true. If A is naive, then B must not be a knight, since naive always lie, so that so that then both negation P and negation Q holds, since both are naives. So depending upon the situation, we need to solve this puzzle by making the alternatives, like what if A is, what if B is, what if both A and B are knights, and what if both A and B are knives. So this is the way you are supposed to solve the logic puzzles. Or using these predicates and the combinations, we can develop the logic puzzles like this. Next, we'll move on to the propositional equivalences. In this propositional equivalences, we are going to see if given two different propositions are equivalent or not. So this can be done via three ways, like tautologies, contradictions, and contingencies. So logical equivalences, important logical equivalences, showing logical equivalences. These are the topics we'll see in this section. Tautologies. Tautology is a proposition which is always true. That means in any condition, the given proposition is always true. Example is P or negation P. So it is always true. The contradiction is a proposition which is always false. P and negation P, which is always false. A contingency is a proposition which is neither a tautology or a contradiction. So this is what called contingency. Neither or. This condition will come in the contingency. So tautology means it's always true. Contradiction is always false. Contingency either may be true or may not be true. So this is what the three things that we'll use in this propositional equivalences. So when can you say logically equivalent? Two compound propositions P and Q are logically equivalent if P bidirectional implies Q is a tautology. So that means P is also true and also Q is also true, always at any time. We write this as P implies Q, that is P bidirectional implies Q, or P 3 equals, that is exactly equal to Q, where P and Q are compound propositions. Two compound propositions P and Q are equivalent if and only if, you can make note of this, if and only if the column in the truth table giving their truth values agree. So here is the truth table. This is the truth table showing negation P or Q is equivalent to P implies Q. The same thing we have also seen in the previous lectures. This P and Q you are supposed to write and make the possible combinations of true and false. Then go for negation P or Q. You will get this truth table, truth values. Then P implies Q, you will get this truth values. So that means the negation P or Q is logically equivalent with P implies Q. That is what the meaning of showing this particular truth table. So this is the way you can implement or you can show the logical equivalences. The De Morgan's law. De Morgan's law we have already come across in the Boolean logic. That means AB whole complement is equal to A complement plus B complement. A plus B whole complement is equal to A complement into B complement. Wherever plus is there, we'll place or. Wherever dot is there, we'll place AND operation. The same thing we will represent here. Negation of P and Q is equal to negation of P or negation Q. Negation of P or Q is equal to negation P and negation Q. The same technique, and the truth table has been given here. The same technique is also followed in the propositional logic also. And here are some key logical equivalences. Identity law. So here are the identity law. P and true is equal to P. P or false is equal to P. So this is what is called the basic proposition laws and combinations, conjunction, disjunction that we have seen in the previous lecture. Domination law, P or T, that is true, is equal to true. That means P with a OR operation with any true value is always true. P and F is equal to F, which is logical equivalent. P or P is equal to P. So next is P and P is also equal to P. So this is the various rules, logical equivalence rules that you need to remember. Double negation law, that is A complement whole complement, like the negation of P is equal to P. Negation law, P or negation P is equal to true, P and negation P is equal to false. Next is commutative law. Now this is P or Q is equal to Q or P, which is logically equivalent. Like that, P and Q is equal to Q and P, which is logically equivalent. Like associative law, within the, that is within brackets, P and Q or R is equal to P and Q and R. So this is what the representation of associative law. Distributive law, we can distribute from a particular N to R and R to N distribution. Absorption law, if common proposition is there, you can take it out and you can concise that particular expression. Some more logical equivalences are like this in the table 7 and 8. It was given here logical equivalences involving conditional statements. So just by looking at, you can understand this. There is no further explanation in this. So P, for example, if you look at here, P implies Q and P implies R. This can be rewritten as, you can take P common and you can make Q and R. That is P implies Q and R. This is the way of concising, that is absorption, you can say, you can make it. While coming to this logical equivalences involving biconditional statement, biconditional means double side arrow will be there, that we have seen previously. So P double condition Q is equal to P to Q and Q to P. P double condition Q, biconditional Q is equal to negation P, biconditional negation Q. These are all logically equivalent. So these rules one must remember for solving any other exercises that we will see across. Next. So constructing new logical equivalences, we can show that two expressions are logically equivalent by developing series of logically equivalent statements. To prove A is equal to B, we produce a series of equivalences beginning with A and ending with B. So keep in mind that whenever a proposition represented by a propositional variable occurs in the equivalence listed earlier, it may be replaced by an arbitrary complex compound proposition. That means if you find this kind of pattern that we have seen in the previous slides like this, you can directly substitute these logical patterns or compound propositions there and you can reduce that. Here is an example. Show that P and Q implies P or Q. So P and Q implies P or Q. This we are going to reduce like this. Negation of P and Q or P or Q by truth table for implies. So we have seen the implies truth table, which is P implies Q means, which can also be rewritten as negation P negation P and Q or P or Q. Now this can be expanded using the first law of the De Morgan's law, that is P and Q whole complement, that you can make it as P complement plus Q complement or P complement or complement or Q complement. So this you can expand it. Then by using the associative law and commutative law, you can further expand it like this. So negation P or P, you can make one set. Negation Q or Q, we can make one set with R as the common connectivity. So this negation P or P is always true. negation Q or Q is always true. So true or true is true by domination law. So this is the way equivalence can be proved.